Hi, this is dperlee from Real Estate, and I'm here today to talk to you about what a walkthrough is. So when you buy a house, you really only get 3 opportunities to see it. So the first time is when you have your initial showing, which is when your agent brings you over, you decide you're in love with this house and you want to put an offer in. Sometimes you can have a second showing, depending on how the market's going and depending on if you really want to see it again, if you're not quite sure. So you might get a second showing. Then the next time is going to be when you have your inspection. So the inspection is very important. When you go into your inspection, that's when you should bring your tape measure, measure stuff for curtains and couches and, make sure the cupboards are what you need. That's when you start planning, this is the room I want to paint, that sort of thing. You're in there for a while for the inspection. And this is very important. The inspection tells you what's going on with the house, what you need to maintain, what needs to be repaired. And I've done another video about inspections, and in upstate New York, it's a $1,500 threshold. So if there's a hole in the wall, they don't have to fix that, okay? That's a $50 fix. You're gonna have to do that. So make sure you pay attention when you're doing your inspection, because you wanna make sure that everything's basically the same at the walkthrough, either the same or better at the walkthrough. So this is really important. A lot of times people don't pay attention or don't think about things. You need to open the windows during the inspection. Make sure the windows open and close. I had a client that the windows just didn't close at the walkthrough, and we realized we didn't really check it during the inspection. So it's important to do that sort of thing. Big things that you're gonna do is make sure that everything's out of the house during the walkthrough, because they're supposed to take everything out of the house. They're not supposed to leave a mess for you. And if they do, then we'll figure it out. And if you're in my area and you use me, I got a guy who I love. They'll do it for you. You're also going to want to check, make sure that the hot water is still working. Make sure that the dishwasher is still working. There's a lot of little things that you can do. I always flush the toilet. I always make sure that the water's flowing okay. I actually had a house not too long ago. The water wasn't flowing in this one bathroom, and I was like, what is going on? It turned out it was that the screen was totally full of whatever. So that was all it was. But when I also had another one where we walked in and it smelled really bad, and we were like, what is going on in this area? And it turned out there was dripping water and it got all over a rug and it was just nasty. So luckily that was something quick to take care of, but you really have to pay attention. So between your inspection, if you inspect the house and there is a basketball hoop that is not usable in the backyard, and you want that taken out, you gotta make sure you let them know that you need to take it out, because that's just part of the property, that's just there, unless you say something. So then you go through the walkthrough. This happened to me and another client. There's this basketball hoop that's sitting in the backyard, and they assumed that they were gonna take it with them, and they didn't, but it wasn't really something that we specified, so we're stuck with a basketball hoop. That doesn't work. So anyway, that's kind of how it goes. So make sure that your inspection and your walkthrough kind of look like this, okay? And anything you want done during your inspection, you let your agent and your attorney know, I want this basketball hoop taken out, okay? I want to make sure that, whatever it is, that the washing machine is working, because it's not, it's not working at the inspection. You want it working at the walkthrough, you have to ask. So the walkthrough is something that you do either the day before or the day of the closing, depending on schedule. A lot of people can't take 2 days off in a row, or maybe the person's moving that morning of the closing, which also is a fun thing. But anyway, you are entitled to a walkthrough of the house with nothing in it, with nobody in it, and you get to see everything, okay? So you take your information from your inspection, go to your walkthrough with your agent, and if there's anything wrong, you do have recourse. You can ask for escrow money to be set aside. You can ask for a clean out service to be hired. There's a lot of different things you can do. So basically that's it for a walkthrough. It's not a re-inspection, but it's just a check-in to make sure everything that they said was going to be done is done, making sure everything is out of that house, and make sure that house is, is ready for you to move in. So that's a walkthrough in a nutshell, and you always want to do it before you sign those papers. So everybody have a great day. Please follow me. This is dperlee from Real Estate.